Two-dimensional stream function. A relates velocity and pressure. B is constant along a streamline. C is constant along an equipotential surface. D none of these. The correct answer is constant along a streamline. What causes cavitation in centrifugal pump? A. High suction pressure. B. Low barometric pressure. C. Low suction pressure. D. High suction velocity. The correct answer is low suction pressure. Draining of shallow pits or sump is done by a sump pump, which is a pump. A. Single stage vertical. B. Centrifugal. C. Plunger. D. Diffuser. The correct answer is single stage vertical. A hydraulic ram acts as an pump. A. Centrifugal. B. Reciprocating. C. Impulse. D. Parallel cylinder. The correct answer is impulse. The ratio of average fluid velocity to the maximum velocity in case of laminar flow of a Newtonian fluid in a circular pipe is A. 0.5, B. 1, C. 2, D. 0.66. The correct answer is 0.5. Choose the correct set of dimensions of viscosity that are equivalent where F, M, L, T are dimensions for force, mass, length and time respectively. A. FL 2T ml 1T1. B. FL T ml 1T1. C. ml 1T3 floor 1 L2T. D. F1 L2T 1 mlt3. The correct answer is FL 2T ml 1T1. The line of action of the buoyant force passes through the center of gravity of the A. Submerged body. B. Displaced volume of the fluid. C. Volume of fluid vertically above the body. D. Horizontal projection of the body. The correct answer is displaced volume of the fluid. Pick out the wrong statement. The shear stress at the pipe DRD length L wall in case of laminar flow of Newtonian fluids is B. In the equation the value of N for pseudoplastic and dilatant fluids are 1 and 1 respectively. C. Shear stress for Newtonian fluid is proportional to the rate of shear in the direction perpendicular to motion. D. With increase in the Mach number 0.6 the drag coefficient decreases in case of compressible fluids. The correct answer is with increase in the Mach number 0.6 the drag coefficient decreases in case of compressible fluids. The friction factor for turbulent flow in a hydraulically smooth pipe. A. Depends only on Reynolds number. B. Does not depend on Reynolds number. C. Depends on the roughness. D. None of these. The correct answer is depends only on Reynolds number. The pressure at a point in a fluid is not the same in all directions when the fluid is viscous and A. Moving. B. Static. C. Cold. D. Hot. The correct answer is moving. What causes convective acceleration in fluid flow? A. Steep slope in flow. B. Unsteady nature of flow. C. Non-uniformity of flow. D. Turbulence in flow. The correct answer is non-uniformity of flow. The Stokes stream function applies to the A. Rotational flow only. B. Ideal non-viscous fluids only. C. Cases of axial symmetry. D. None of these. The correct answer is cases of axial symmetry. Slugging in a fluidized bed can be avoided by using A. Tall narrow vessel. B. Deep bed of solids. C. Shallow beds of solids and proper choice of particle size. D. Very large particles. The correct answer is shallow beds of solids and proper choice of particle size. The ratio of width to depth for the most economical rectangular section in open channel flow is A. 0.5, B. 1, C. 1.5, D. 2. The correct answer is 2. The simple pitot tube measures the pressure. A. Static. B. Dynamic. C. Total. D. None of these. The correct answer is total. Capacity of a hydraulic accumulator is defined in terms of maximum. A. Amount of energy stored. B. Flow rate through accumulator. C. Rate of falling of ram. D. Volume available in the cylinder. The correct answer is amount of energy stored. 3 piping networks as shown in the figure are placed horizontally. They are made using identical pipe segments and are subjected to the same pressure drop across them. Assuming no pressure losses at junctions, the flow rates across the 3 networks are related as Q1, Q2, Q3. A132, B123, C122, D122. The correct answer is 122. With diminishing cross-sectional area in case of subsonic flow in a converging nozzle, the A. velocity increases, B. pressure decreases, C. both A, B, D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A, B. Boundary layer separation is characterized by one of the conditions given below, where R is the Reynolds number for the flow. Select the appropriate conditions. A. 1 rupee accelerating flow, B. 1 rupee accelerating flow, C. 1 rupee decelerating flow, D. 1 rupee decelerating flow. The correct answer is 1 rupee decelerating flow. Manometers measure the pressure. A. Vacuum as well as the atmospheric. B. Difference in. C. Absolute. D. Gauge. The correct answer is difference in. Which of the following fluid forces are not considered in the Navier-Stokes equation? A. Gravity forces. B. Viscous forces. C. Pressure forces. D. Turbulent forces. The correct answer is turbulent forces. Which of the following may be termed as a variable orifice flow meter? A. Rotameter. B. pitot tube. C. V-notch. D. all A, B, and C. The correct answer is Rotameter. In turbulent flow, a rough pipe has the same friction factor as a smooth pipe. A. In the zone of complete turbulence. B. When the roughness projections are much smaller than the thickness of the laminar film. C. Everywhere in the transition zone. D. When the friction factor is independent of the Reynolds number. The correct answer is when the roughness projections are much smaller than the thickness of the laminar film. Air vessel provided in a reciprocating pump. A. Smoothens the flow by avoiding pulsations. B. Increases the volumetric efficiency of the pump. C. Saves the pump from the danger of cavitation. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. Bernoulli's equation is dependent on the A. First law of thermodynamics. B. Third law of thermodynamics. C. Law of conservation of momentum. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. The capacity of an accumulator is the maximum. A. Energy which it can store. B. Discharge which it can deliver. C. Liquid which it can store. D. None of these. The correct answer is energy which it can store. With increase in the temperature, viscosity of a liquid. A. Increases. B. Decreases. C. Remains constant. D. May increase or decrease, depends on the liquid. The correct answer is decreases. Vena contracta pressure tapping is at a distance from the position of an orificemeter fitted in a pipe of internal diameter d. A. D. B. 0.5 d. C. 2 d. D. 4 d. The correct answer is 0.5 d. The pump impeller and the turbine runner in a hydraulic torque converter. A. Have the same diameter. B. Have different diameters. C are directly coupled. D none of these. The correct answer is have different diameters. Reciprocating pumps compared to centrifugal pumps. A deliver liquid at uniform pressure. B can handle slurries more efficiently. C are not subject to air binding. D can be operated with delivery valve closed. The correct answer is are not subject to air binding. The fluid property which matters for fall ing raindrops to acquire spherical shape is its A. Pressure. B. Height of descent. C. Viscosity. D. Surface tension. The correct answer is surface tension. The simple pitot tube does not measure the A. Static pressure. B. Dynamic pressure. C. Velocity at the stagnation point. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Boundary layer separation occurs when the A. Pressure reaches a minimum. B. Cross-section of the channel is reduced. C. Valve is closed in a pipeline. D. Velocity of sound is reached. The correct answer is cross-section of the channel is reduced. The head loss in turbulent flow in a pipe varies. A. Directly as the velocity. B. Inversely as the square of the velocity. C. Approximately as the square of the velocity. D. Inversely as the square of the diameter. The correct answer is approximately as the square of the velocity. For flow through an orifice from a reservoir, the actual velocity at the vena contracta is given by A. 2gh, B. CV 2gh, C. CD 2gh, D. CC 2gh. The correct answer is CV 2gh. The ratio of the hydraulic radius to the diameter of the channel for maximum mean velocity of flow in a circular channel in open channel flow is A. 0.3, B. 0.9, C. 0.03, D. 0.66. The correct answer is 0.3. For the free settling of a spherical particle through a fluid, the slope of CD log n replot is A1, B1, C 0.5, D 0.5. The correct answer is 1. A centrifugal pump loses prime after starting. The reason of this trouble may be A. Incomplete priming, B. Too high a suction lift, C. Low available NPSH and air leaks in the suction pipe. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Venturimeter and orificemeter measures the of the fluid. A. Pressure. B. Maximum velocity. C. Average velocity. D. Point velocity. The correct answer is average velocity. Surge tanks are provided in high-pressure water pipelines to A. Store a definite quantity of water all the time. B. Reduce the water hammer. C. Facilitate easy dismantling of pipeline for cleaning and maintenance. D. None of these. The correct answer is reduce the water hammer. Working principle of manometer comprises of balancing a column of liquid against the pressure to be measured. Inclined tube manometer is especially used for the measurement of pressure. A. Small differential. B. Atmospheric. C. Absolute. D. Gauge. The correct answer is small differential. Isotropic turbulence occurs A. Where there is no velocity gradient. B. At higher temperatures. C. Only in Newtonian fluids. D. None of these. The correct answer is where there is no velocity gradient. The coefficient of drag and lift for an incompressible fluid depends on the A. Reynolds number, B. Froude number, C. Mach number, D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is Reynolds number. Euler's equation of motion states that at every point the A. Fluid momentum is constant. B. Force per unit mass equals acceleration. C. Rate of mass outflow is equal to the rate of mass inflow. D. None of these. The correct answer is force per unit mass equals acceleration. The Navier-Stokes equation deals with the law of conservation of A. Mass, B. Energy, C. Both A, B, D. Momentum. The correct answer is momentum. Hydraulic intensifier is used for increasing the A. Rate of velocity of liquid supply, B. Rate of flow through delivery pipeline of a pump, C. Intensity of pressure of the liquid, D. Momentum rate through delivery pipe. The correct answer is intensity of pressure of the liquid. Hydrometer measures the specific gravity of liquids based on the principles of buoyancy. Pycnometer is used to measure the specific gravity of A. Powder granular solids, B. Liquids, C. Low melting point semi-solids, D. All ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. Euler's equation of motion is a statement expressing A. Conservation of mass, B. Conservation of energy, C. Newton's first law of motion, D. Newton's second law of motion. The correct answer is conservation of mass. During aging of fluid carrying pipes, the A. Pipe becomes smoother with use, B. Friction factor increases linearly with time, C. Absolute roughness decreases with time, D. Absolute roughness increases linearly with time. The correct answer is absolute roughness increases linearly with time.